Welcome to Slice and Dice Dreadcast, episode 44. I'm your host, Joey Colombo, coming in from Brooklyn, New York, here with my co-host, coming down from sunny old Florida, J-Mac.
What's going on tonight, fellas?
And coming from snowy-ass Maine, coming from Castle Rock himself, Mr. Bill Casanelli.
What's shaking, bacon?
Yes. Welcome to the 44th episode of Slice and Dice, the 4th episode of the new rendition where we cover Black Mirror and whatever the hell else we want to do that is not getting covered on Horror Mafia and not horror-related, except if we want it to be. Speaking of horror-related, this episode of Black Mirror we're covering tonight. Wow. White Bear, Season 2, Episode 2. This one's from 2013, I believe. So we've come, a few years since then. But what are we, 2019, huh? 6 years. It's crazy that 2013 is 6 years ago. Feels like it was yesterday. The 80s. To go back, we will later in the show when we cover River's Edge. The 1985, was it 85? River's Edge?
86.
Bought by Island Pictures in 87, I believe, and then Notoriety, man, 30-something years later. So first time watch for J-Mac and I on that, so that'll be an interesting discussion. But before we do that, anything you want to bullshit upon before we get into the White Bear episode of Black Mirror? How you guys doing?
Hey. 11:35 p.m. and I'm still awake.
Yeah. We've been on the horn for about an hour and a half before we actually are live now, but we got a viewer. I wonder who's tuning in. Ooh, bring it on, folks. We got White Bear in store. Yeah, same old shit, man. Getting ready, getting the 2018 list together. J-Mac, maybe next episode, drop your 2018 list. Since we'll drop ours on Mafia. Unless you just want to join us on Mafia next week.
I'll see what's going on. It's around. I have a very hectic lifestyle. So we'll see what the deal is.
See what the dilly. Yeah. If not, some of your favorites. We'll get to that.
If not, we'll just make them up.
Yeah.
We'll put Slender Man as your number one.
Yep.
Yes. Slender Man, Bird Box, you know how it goes.
Hey, listen, Bird Box might make it onto somebody's list next week on Mafia. You never know.
I ain't mad at Bird Box. We talked about it last episode. I ain't mad at it. I'm more annoyed by people's hatred of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm happy it died down.
Died down? Didn't somebody just almost die?
They announced a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, apparently they're making a sequel.
I haven't seen memes on my news feed about it, so interesting. Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything about it. Everything's been about missing a field goal and seeing people 10 years and 15 years age difference.
Know what I saw?
What?
I saw what might be a spoiler. Now, if this is in the movie, I don't know if I want to know, but somebody made an action figure of the creature from Bird Box. So now I know what it looks like.
Oh, I saw what it looks like.
So they show you in the movie?
There's a scene. They actually filmed a scene with it. They just cut it. And I saw a still of what it looked like.
Yeah, from what I read, apparently when Sandra Bullock saw it, she actually started laughing hysterically. And they were
yeah, it looks funny.
Going for. Yeah. So
it's like a baby's head with a snake tail or something.
Yeah. I saw there's a company that, I don't know if it's a company, whatever, some guy on an Etsy page or some shit. Fucking that makes homemade action figures and shit.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the action.
Because the dude, the day that the trailer for the Us movie that's coming out, the Get Out guys movie.
Yeah.
Oh, he had fucking all of them the same fucking day.
I have no clue what that movie's going to be about.
Don't see the trailer. They show too much.
Good. I figured that's one that you probably don't want to see the trailer for.
Correct.
I watched the trailer for Pet Sematary. looks good. You know, I just remember a drum specifically and some cool looking mask, but nothing, you know. And of course, the classic truck driving by. But I mean, other than that, nothing that would like ruin anything for me. So, you know, you gotta be cautious with the trailers. You know.
Yeah. And yeah, they gave way too much away, and so don't even watch the trailer. Well, they could fool us. Look what they did with Hereditary's trailer.
True.
So could be. Who knows?
Yep. All right. J-Mac, do you see Hereditary?
No, actually, I was just talking about it with my wife today because we saw it's up on Prime, one of the streamers. I think it was either Prime, Netflix, one of them. She wants to see it. I want to see it, so we're gonna jump on that shit. We were gonna do it today, but it was late, and then she was trying to get to bed. So
jump on that. Jump on Suspiria.
Yeah.
Did you watch it yet, Bill?
Not yet. Tomorrow.
Okay. We'll be talking about that tomorrow night on Horror Mafia. I watched it twice.
Wow. Well, you said that it needs subs, so I didn't get to watch it yet.
Yes. Check that out. It's available for purchase on Amazon and an illegal stream near you. So on that note, what the fuck?
Oh.
Baby shark, dude. No. Sorry. Apparently, that's become a craze too. This baby shark, and I'm like, I remember that when I started having kids 6 years ago. All right, enough baby sharking, and let's get white bearing. So, Bill.
Yes, White Bear. This is what, season 2, episode 2 of Black Mirror. Victoria wakes up and cannot remember anything about her life, everything she encounters, and everyone refuses to communicate with her. And they all seem to know something that she doesn't. But what?
Dun, dun, dun.
I'd go further if I was writing a synopsis, but okay.
Yeah.
This stars Lenora Cricklow as Victoria.
I'll give whoever wrote that the benefit of the doubt, since you know, Black Mirror is kind of hard to not spoil things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want to give too much away. And this one, you know, as soon as the episode starts, you're like, huh? What the fuck?
Yeah, but by that synopsis, would you really want to watch it? I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you got amnesia, people not wanting to communicate with her, but what's going on?
Yeah, which is true, but it doesn't make me want to see it.
Right, like if it wasn't connected to the name Black Mirror, then, or even if it wasn't connected to White Bear, I'd be like, what is this, a fucking Disney movie? You know, White Bear, the new 2013 animated feature coming from Pixar, Disney Studios. No, but this is definitely going to be one that's a little difficult to talk about without spoiling things until the big reveal at the end, as per usual with Black Mirror. So, you know, if you don't want to hear anything about it, which is definitely the best way to go into it, you might want to just go take 42 minutes and go watch that real quick. It's definitely something to see. But with that being said, we'll try to go spoiler free until we throw them up.
Right.
Up. All right.
That's how we roll.
All right. So I'm actually really intrigued to know what both of you guys think. But as soon as I saw this, I was like, can you say slasher? So let's throw it over to you, BC, and get your initial thoughts.
All right. My initial thoughts were, first, I thought it was going to be predictable. And then I saw that symbol everywhere. And I went, ooh. Then it turned into The Purge meets freaking The Running Man, basically. No spoilers, but it's crazy. And yeah. Or The Purge meets with the Strangers. Better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was impressed. By the end, I had no idea what was really going on. And I was in for the long haul.
Nice. Then I'm like, oh boy, masks.
Yeah, like the Strangers, right?
What's J-Mac gonna think about this now? You know, He's our mask fetish man over there.
Yeah, you know, that's my jam. So a fucking Wyatt cheat mask, all about that. You know, that symbol. And you know, this symbol we saw again Bandersnatch, but when this came out, like that symbol really had no other meaning to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just she wakes up, this thing's on the fucking TV.
Yeah, and you know, that was something that it was kind of like haunting me the whole episode, because I'm like, is there supposed to be some kind of direct connection? And then when it all comes to at the end, I'm like,
right.
I didn't see that ending. I don't think I saw that ending in Bandersnatch. So I'm like, oh, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Which made me think, did they think of Bandersnatch while doing this to stick it in? Or was it like the thorn symbol from Halloween 4, 5, 6, whatever?
I think, like, I got an like to get into it right now would be getting kind of into spoilers. I don't know if we're ready to go there yet.
I know it's so hard to talk about that shit.
And I will say this episode, one of my favorites. And to me, it's only 42 minutes long, but it feels even faster watching that. Like
agreed.
This shit went by in a heartbeat. And I think this is like the fourth time I've fucking seen it, because I saw it on my own when I first watched the series. It was one of the ones I made my wife go back and watch, and I think I had my mother watch it too, and then I rewatched it again for this. And still, you know, already knowing what's gonna happen, or it fucking went by in like the blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, all right. So all right. So I'll give my initial thoughts too. This is definitely one of my favorite episodes of Black Mirror, hands down. I was pretty blown away by the episode because it really fucks with your emotions. Similar to another episode called Shut Up and Dance, which I hope we get to. But you're watching this. It's about a woman who wakes up. She's in a room like, what the fuck? Who am I? I don't remember anything. She has a picture of, this young girl. Oh, my daughter. Oh, my gosh. Then all of a sudden she sees like everybody, looks like all the town folks are just videotaping her with their cell phones. What the fuck? Right? And we know, oh my gosh, how much the cell phone has influenced humans in the last 6 years from when this came out, let alone, then. So
it's like real life.
Yeah.
Everybody's on their cell phone.
It's like somebody gets hit by a car on 34th Street and 8th Avenue in Manhattan, and it's like, let's film this.
Like a crowd of people filming it, right?
So I love this. I was like, here we go. This is gonna be a groundbreaker. Peel the onion layer. So yeah, that's my initial thoughts here. I thought the lead actress, what's her name? Critchlow.
The actress is Lenora Critchlow.
Yeah,
she was fantastic. And
managed to be pretty, even looking disheveled as fuck.
Oh man,
like, imagine this girl does herself up, man. She'd be bad.
Yeah, that hair, holy shit! I was just like, it just added so much depravity to her character. It really did.
Yeah,
I just couldn't stop being like, it looks like it hasn't been cleaned forever. And it's like, what's going on here? This poor woman. So she's trying to figure out what's going on. Everybody around is videotaping it, not answering.
Don't forget, she wakes up, her head hurts. There's pills on the floor, and her arm is bandaged, like she tried to slit her wrist.
Yes.
So
yes,
I introduce that.
Introduce that, of course. Man. All right. So let's still not spoil anything. So.
Nope.
It goes on to slowly unravel where she's basically leaves the house that she wakes up in, apartment house, whatever it is. And, she's seeing people like, hey, can you help me? Who am I? Where am I? What's going on here? And they're just holding their phone out with these fucking evil looking kind of smirks on, like,
Notice at first they're like hiding like through the windows and doing it, then they just start coming out on the streets and
Yes.
surrounding her.
Slowly, like cockroaches coming to an open pail of melted gummies, melted gummy bears. You know, it's like, man. So yeah, the episode. Then she's trying to figure out what's going on, who these people are. She meets a person who finally.
Well, before she meets a person, someone pulls up in a car.
Oh yes, of course. How could I forget? And that's something that when we talk about spoilers, I got a lot of questions about the symbol, right? So a guy shows up with the mask, like a baklava. What is that called? Balaclava? Is that what it's called?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
It's
like a ski mask.
Yeah, ski mask. It's called like a balaclava or something.
Not a baklava. That's fish, right?
Yeah,
it's a British term, you know.
A ski mask.
it's a balaclava. That's
Okay.
what it's called. Anyway, you know, it's like something that fucking, you know, J-Mac wears when he's working out. So
Or robbing a bank, either one.
yeah. But it has that logo etched in down the, you know, if you don't know the logo, it looks like a upside down Y, you know, but squared out. So it's like, yeah, I'm doing a video like the listeners can see what I'm doing here. But the straight single part comes down the bridge of the nose, opens through under the nose, and comes down the side. So it's on the actual mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he whips out a shotty and starts bucking at her. And she's like, what the fuck? And starts taking off. Sorry. That's an important part.
It is. That's why I did interject. I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's what I have you here for. Keep me on the straight and narrow. I don't have Don to yell at me. You're going off the rails here, bro. What are you doing? So here we go, man. She's on the run. And eventually she meets Jem and Damien, who are some kind of La Resistance characters, right? They're just like,
yeah, they're wearing like camouflage and
yep. They start talking about that there was a single that begins on the television and the phones, and you know, people are turning into voyeurs basically. And it's like, what?
making zombies out of people.
And some people are unaffected, but then there are, you know, hunters who are not affected, were basically sadistic humans.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is they got to reach White Bear to destroy a transmitter. So let's from there, should we throw it up?
I don't know. J-Mac, do you want to add something to this?
Up until that point, you know, that the gas station, they're getting chased by the dude. When the two girls get out the back of the gas station and the fucking other two hunters show up and they kind of make off in a van or whatever it is, when they get to the woods and turns out the Good Samaritan who was saving them was a bad guy.
So there's the spoilers.
Is that what? No, well, I thought it was like a big fucking spoiler. You know what I'm saying? My bad.
There's a couple of spoilers.
There's shit all over the fucking place.
Yeah, there's
it's
a lot.
impossible to fucking talk about this.
All right. Well, how about this? Before we go into spoilers, let me pose this question, because I mean, without a spoiler, but one of the big, I guess, questions that this brings about is like, what is the relationship between people, their phones, and what's going on in the real physical world in front of you? Because it seems like there's like these two different realms. It's the actual physical world and the digital world now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like you said, the episode wakes up with this girl tied to a chair. Like, what? Huh? You know, like Bill said, the pills are there. She got the cut. What's going on? People are filming, and it's just, what does this say about humans? Like, what's going on? That if you always have your phone, right, filming what's going on here, what is happening to humanity, right?
Yeah.
And then you add the element of, you know, are humans innately evil, right? Like, oh, there's hunters. So stuff. Some of us that aren't affected are okay, but then some of us become sadistic motherfuckers and hunt us down. Like, okay, that's like some kind of Lord of the Flies shit. You know what I mean?
Well, no, Baxter does give a reason. He says everyone who's not affected has a mental problem.
No, but not everyone who's affected has a mental problem.
No, everyone who's not affected. He said everyone's got a mental issue. He goes, "What's yours?" "Oh, I see you tried to kill yourself." "And what's yours?" The other girl. She said, "Oh, okay." And then they ask him what his was. That's when J-Mac's secret comes out.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. So if you're not hunting somebody down, then you have some other thing going on, right? That's right. Correct. So she's basically getting hunted down here, you know, but take this and go to the bigger picture, right? It's scary, bro. You look at Manhattan, for those of you listening in that have never been to Manhattan, never been to New York City, and for those of you that have been, you already know New York City is absolutely nuts. But for those of you who have never been here, dude, it's crazy big. There's a ridiculous amount of people, but just picture this, right? I do this experiment. Come out of the subway and just stand on the corner and just watch as the drones of people walk with cell phone in tow, not paying attention to what's going in front of you. They had to put on the streets signs on the sidewalk that say, pick your head up, get off your phone.
Yep.
Like,
walking the manholes, walking the train. Yeah.
My cousin, and this was years ago, worked in the ER in a big hospital in the city. And she said every day, people coming in getting hit by cars on bikes and everything. But like now it's people coming in every day getting hit because they're on their cell phone walking into traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I can't tell you the countless times I'm like, beep the horn and hit my brakes because some fucking dumbass walks right into the middle of the street when they're not supposed to on their phone. They're not paying attention.
Yep. See, that was my first guess in this. I was thinking it was going to be predictable, and that's what it was, a big allegory of people turning into zombies on their phones.
Right.
So that was my first guess.
That's just one,
Yeah, 1/1000th of this
strand on the synapses that this episode fucking catalyst to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so it's, now go back in the episode, you're sitting there saying, what the hell is wrong with these people? They're really creepy, bro.
Even kids.
Yep.
Yeah. And I love that the amount of time that you have no idea what the fuck is actually going on in this episode. It's like 2/3 of the episode, you have no clue what the fuck is actually happening. And you can't help but feel bad for this fucking girl that's going through it. I don't know who I am. If she's fucking panicked out, she's getting chased by dudes with guns and fucking electric fucking knives and shit.
Oh, I love that.
That thing was fucking awesome, Yeah. And that symbol pops up and the flashes, she's getting like flashbacks and things. It's a fucking so well done. And even like in the little like glitch shit that would happen when she had a flashback, you see that fucking symbol.
I noticed that.
The glitches too, man. It's fucking awesome.
She would like see like the symbol and then glitch and then her partner, either boyfriend, husband, you don't know, and this little girl.
Okay, so before we do any more spoilers, right? We are seeing these flashes. She's seeing the girl, the boyfriend, and on his neck is the tattoo.
Yep, I caught that too.
So I'm like, what the fuck? Yep. What's going on?
But I was like, is this real? Is it part of the hallucination from the drugs, the pills? Who knows?
Yeah. So, then now before we throw our spoilers up and go deeper again, I'll just keep going on with some more bigger world stuff that I'm thinking about here. And it's like, I don't know. You see all the time, especially on like, these websites that's kind of like promoting it, like World Star, like there's a fight in the schoolyard. And dude, don't get me wrong, we had our fights in the schoolyard, but like if shit got really bad, like a kid
would stop it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you literally have videos of kids beating other kids till they dude, I can't even imagine if that happened to my child, like to where they're in a hospital bed. I mean, dude, we shot the fair, Someone called a
Yeah,
little
but most of the time,
black guy, a couple, you know what I mean?
like if you got into a fight when we were kids and you hit the floor and the other person was still jumping on you, like you probably did something really fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These kids, or if it,
someone broke it up.
yeah, so if someone hit the floor and it got out of hand, somebody would fucking stop it. Now these kids will stand there and film this shit while some kid's getting his head stomped in.
Right. The apathy they have.
Yeah, it's just not there. Like it's, you know, oh, if I post this, I'll get a lot of likes. You know, it might go viral. My fucking fight video,
Bingo.
kind of shit. It's
Thing,
fucking
right. Exactly. Why do we? And why are we so obsessed with this like going viral thing now? You know, like even my daughter, she's 6 years old. She wants to have a YouTube channel.
Oh, my son's been begging to put videos on YouTube since he was fucking little. And it's just like, dude, you're not fucking posting yourself all over there doing dumb shit. You know?
No. You know, I have our videos of the kids playing. Like, I have about half a dozen videos that they made like real shitty, and I have it set to private so I could take it from my phone and stream it to the TV, and they watch it and they laugh and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time in the very beginning, like now they don't even really ask about it as much because it kind of shut it down. But it was like, oh, did anybody leave any comments? And I'm like, what? Comments? Like, this is what my kid's thinking about right now.
It's fucked up because, you know, our kids are growing up in a world where they think that this little bit of internet fame like equates to actual fame and success. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And we fucking live in a society that worships people who do nothing, like the fucking Kardashians, because of how they interact on social media and shit.
Agreed.
So all these fucking kids think like, you know, oh, if all it needs is this many followers and it'll fucking, you know, I'll be right up there with fucking these celebrities who are sitting on millions. You know what I'm saying? It's just a way to feel like you have some kind of fame.
It's definitely like some you know, psychological and chemically biological thing too.
Right.
You know?
It's a narcissism coming from people craving attention at all hours of the day while they're awake. They want people to see them, like Instagram. Like they post like their dinner on Instagram in hopes that people will like it. And they get this rush in their brain chemically when they're being noticed.
Yeah, of course. You know,
it's evolving humans to another level, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, if this is producing like dopamine and you know, everything from dopamine to cortisol to adrenaline to, you know, not epinephrine, what's the other one? Endorphins, right? All these different, you know, chemicals your body's secreting when you're, you know, doing other things like drugs, having sex, gambling. It's the same kind of thing. So, but these kids are getting it on such a small level, right? That you don't realize it, but eventually they're going to need bigger hits. You know what I mean? So it's scary because when you have a 6-year-old who's getting a fucking dopamine hit on Instagram and you think, oh, they're only on Instagram and they just post pictures and set the price. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're on the fucking thing and they're getting that gratification that is a chemical release in our body.
But also what's fucked up is that the kids who aren't getting that are actually, it's fucking their self-esteem up, where it's like, well, I posted this picture and nobody's fucking commenting on it or liking it or anything. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, fucking no one likes me. Now that leads into like fucking depression and all kinds of fucked up shit based off of, you know, it's fucking Instagram. It's fucking Twitter, whatever. Like, it doesn't fucking really matter in the fucking real world.
But you know we get that because we lived before there was such things.
Yeah.
Today, I can't think of a kid I know under the age of 12 who hasn't been born into it.
And just because we were talking about it right before we went live, but in fucking Cobra Kai, they perfectly showed in that show like the whole fucking, that whole aspect of kids in high school now with the fucking internet bullying and all that kind of shit. And
it's viral for his business when you see him kick his ass. That was great.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
You know, like you said, you see what it does, and you see, like, dude, the bullying in that show, I was like, at first I was thinking like, dude, that's a little far-fetched. And I was like, no, it's not actually. It's really not that far-fetched at all. Like, it might seem a little cartoonish, but no, kids are literally getting fucking killed to the point where kids are getting killed. Yo, dude, I was listening to a fucking podcast. It was about this kid who threw a house party in Florida.
It's in Port St. Lucie.
Port
Well,
St.
hotel. Yeah,
Right?
I know where it happened.
He throws a house, kills his parents, and has a house
they said
party.
no. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Well, I know people who were involved in this. That's why. Yeah. Kid was like, how old was he? Like 14, 15, 16?
Yeah. He was a kid. He was a teenager between 14 and 17.
I was wrong. He didn't ask them first. He killed them first, his parents, and put them in the garage to rot and threw a house party. While the kids partied, the parents were dead in the garage. And he said something like he was afraid to ask them because they'd say no. So he killed them. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. Right on, I'm going to say St. Lucie West Boulevard it is.
And this is the thing, too. This is the kicker here. Now, okay, he showed some people, didn't call the cops. Okay, you don't know what to fucking do. You're panicking, whatever. But now that it's all done and said with, it's a thing like, yeah, I was at the party where fucking the kid killed his parents. It's crazy, bro. You know, it's like people boast.
A badge of courage.
You know? It's like, really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've partied and done some stupid shit back in the day, but nothing to that magnitude of, you know, devolving of humanity. I mean, that's just really fucked right there.
I think.
Go ahead.
No, just with constantly living in this social media world, fucking, it is fucking up their sense between like reality and fucking, you know, non-reality.
Yeah. All right.
I don't like these kids lack of empathy. Like everything is fucking kind of disappearing on them.
Sense of reality. You're right.
Because it's very, you know, everything you put out there, you might think you're interacting with people, but it's really all about you. It's creating like this narcissistic fucking generation. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yep. And that's a big part of why I deactivated my old Facebook. I have this other one that, you know, I'm active on it, but it's not like I'm not sitting there all day anymore. It's just it's taking up time, hours, and we've talked about this on older episodes of the show where it's like, dude, you know, you add up the hours a day between laying in bed in the morning when you wake up to shitting, sitting on the toilet, holding the phone, to riding to work or wherever you got to go, and in between when you're on a break, or even if you have a job where you're at a desk in front of the fucking thing all day, forget about it, you know. And then hence the Black Mirror, of course, it's everywhere, right?
Can I say a scary story real quick?
Please do.
Something really creepy that happened to me, and J-Mac brought it up about kids' sense of reality nowadays. I don't know if you're aware, my son is a video game freak. He has been since he was born. When he was 3 or 4, we used to live by this convenience store over there. A lot of traffic. So one day I went over there to get some beer or something, and he's playing with the kids next door, and he knows not to go, you know, across streets or nothing. So I go there, I come back, he comes in smiling, saying, "Hey, Dad, I followed you to the store. I went across the street and I went in." I'm like, "What?" So I explained to him, "You can't do that. You can get killed." And he thought in his mind, 3, 4 years old, it's okay. I have more lives. So he thought, like in video games, you get 3 lives. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Shit.
Dude, my heart sank when I heard that.
Yeah.
You know?
Kids, they don't understand. You know,
crazy.
And we're human beings too. We're caught up in life, living the rat race and dealing with what we're dealing with, trying to make ends meet and raise our families. It's real easy to, like, you know, overlook these things a little bit, where it's like, I didn't realize, you know, like, what?
Well, I wasn't home alone. My wife at the time was home, daughters, everybody.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, like, you know, like my daughter's 6, you know what I mean? And I feel like she knows so much, but at the same time, you know, she doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, she still thinks Santa Claus is real. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, good.
So it was funny. Like, even today, she was like, because the other day I was like, yeah, fairies are cool, but, you know, they're like mythological creatures. They're not real. And then she was like, today, she was like, Daddy, let me ask you something. if the Tooth Fairy is a fairy, does that mean she's not real? And I was like, nah. I was like, they call her a fairy. She's really not a fairy, but she's like this creature that looks like what a fairy does in a thing.
The pixie.
Backtrack it, yeah.
Good comeback. Well, not comeback, but good thinking.
Ooh, I thought that was my wake up calls for the
I
show.
was wondering, was it you?
So is it 9:30?
But yeah, that scared me. Oh,
Man, that's crazy.
to think that he thought they had more than one life.
That's and that's the thing, right? Like we're worried about our children and our children's children. Like we're good. We already know the difference. I mean, don't get me wrong, we could get caught up on it, of course. We all have before. You know what I mean? But we're now conscious of it. We're conscious of the dangers of social media addiction and Black Mirror addiction. Right? I mean, dude, we watched how many fucking movies in our 2018 year? You know what I mean? Like we're watching a lot of screen time, but at the same time, we're also watching it, talking about it, not just like, let me just binge watch everything on Netflix and then that's it. So it's scary because the TV can destroy you, and at the same time, it's making beautiful art. It's like I was, the short story "The Pedestrian" by Ray Bradbury. I don't know if you guys read it.
I've heard. Is it in the Illustrated Man?
I'm not sure what collection it's in,
all right,
but it's short and it's basically it's a dystopian future, 2051 and 2043 AD, whatever the year is, and it's illegal to go outside and take a walk, right? So like nobody's walked for 10 years, but there's this one guy, Leonard Mead, he's a pedestrian, and everybody lives in an apartment with a viewing screen, an air conditioner, and it's literally just like, apartment buildings, right? And that was 1951 this was published, right? And look at today. I mean, we're just stacks of people living on top of each other watching Netflix and Amazon Prime, bro, in front of a fucking viewing screen in the conditioning of the air, whether we need heat or cold. And the question is, what do you do with that? Do you do it 24/7? Some people do. Or do you do it, as entertainment recreationally to pass time? Or do you do it to study it? I mean, right? There's so many different levels to it. But this was Bradbury writing about this how many years ago? 60-something years ago. Long before there was any kind of flat screen TVs in it and that,
Yeah, I think just Ray Bradbury is more like anti-authoritism. I mean, like everything. Like you can't read books, burn them. It's the future. You can't take a walk, burn them. That's the future.
Dude, perfect example. This summer, right? I'm driving across Avenue U, one of the main spots in Green Park, right? I look over at the park. It's 12 noon. The sprinkler's blowing. It's empty. There's nobody in the park. 12 o'clock on a summer weekday. Dude, we used to fight for spots in the sprinklers when we were kids. Are you kidding me? Spot on the monkey bars. Yep. Used to fucking die to go outside and play. And
you remember how long you could wait for a basketball court?
Forget about it. Dude, the schoolyard empty all the time, bro. It's absolutely crazy.
You would stand there all day. I got next. Oh, there's about 9 people. There's 9 teams in front of you waiting to play next. It's going to be a while.
Then you go to get an egg cream and you forget and you miss your spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the old Brooklyn days, right? But,
yeah, man.
That's the way it was, man. You waited to play basketball for hours until your team got in. And
yeah, I mean, I remember as a kid, my sister for Christmas, I was small, got like the original Nintendo, and it was cool to have, but it was something like we literally only played with it if it was like raining.
Right.
Other than that, it was like, all right, go outside, go do some shit, and we'd be fucking running around in the street and stuff.
Right.
But, and I was just talking about this with my wife the other day, is like, do you remember like when you would like go somewhere, like wait in line at like McDonald's and you just stood there? Like now everybody you look at that's in line is looking at their phone. Like you're never not fucking connected to that shit. I saw a thing. It was like, remember when you used to put like BRB in your like fucking away status?
Yeah.
You're never away anymore. You were always fucking online.
There's no more away status anymore.
Yeah. It's because you live here now. You know, it's fucking
You live here
insane.
now. This is your life.
Yeah,
You have a
it's
nice
your house.
fucking home instead of
Hey
your
Alexa.
Yeah,
Alexa. Now you got a girlfriend. Hey Alexa, how you doing?
and I
Scary.
you know, and like the Alexa, like that thing freaks me the fuck out. I'm not really a fucking fan of it. My wife bought like a ton of them. They're all over the fucking place in here. But I ain't gonna lie, I get up in the morning on my days off and I'm like, hey Alexa, what's the temperature out? Like, I need to know, am I wearing shorts? Am I wearing fucking pants? Like, what am I doing today? You know, and the fucking thing starts talking back to me. It's amazing.
It is.
But like, do I need that shit? Or could I just fucking go open the fucking door and see what it feels like outside? You know?
Right. Well, you don't know if it's gonna rain later, if it's gonna, get a little warmer or not. It might get cooler.
He's right. Like, if someone's sitting there like beating on their computer because it's going really slow to see the weather, just open a fucking window. They're sitting to their computer like, what the hell? Come on, I want to see the weather.
Just check the app, man.
It's going slow.
But it also just like it leads to the impatience of fucking people now too, because everything is at your fucking fingertips.
Right.
You don't have to wait for a fucking thing.
J-Mac, you frequent Disney World. What's that like nowadays, right?
Oh, even that has come to the point where like you could fucking plan out your entire trip through that fucking phone. I mean, now they got certain other fast food restaurants. You could order your food through the app. So when you get there, you just walk up and the shit's waiting for you and stuff. Like getting on the fucking rides and stuff. It's all fucking interacted through this fucking app. And to me, like I live here and I could go there often enough where I don't give a fuck about what I get on. I just like going there and cruising around and shit. Mm-hmm. But like there's people who go on vacation now and their fucking entire day is like segmented, you know what I'm saying? To like the second of like, all right, this is this, that. And it's like they have to do that shit because you're gonna tell a fucking kid from this generation, oh, you want to go on that ride? It looks like you're gonna have to wait 45 fucking minutes in line. And even that, they've spent, I can't even imagine how much money Disney has spent on the queue areas for the rides to make those fucking things interactive.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So while you're waiting,
there's shit for the kids to do. Like you wait to get on Space Mountain and you get to a certain spot and there's these giant fucking screens where you could play fucking like Space Invader type shit on. And the Peter Pan ride, you walk through the fucking like the nursery from Peter Pan and your shadow is on the wall. Then all of a sudden there's fucking fairies and shit flying around your fucking shadow. It's fucking insanity, bro.
But that's the thing. Why can't human beings just stand and converse?
Because like J-Mac said, instant gratification, spontaneous instant gratification.
We always talking to people doing something and getting some kind of fucking stimuli, basically.
Yes.
Can't wait for nothing. My fucking son, I don't know if you guys saw, he broke his arm like a week ago, fucking football practice.
Poor little bug guy, saw the little guy.
Yeah. The idea to him that he has to fucking wait like 8 weeks to take that fucking cast off, like he's freaking the fuck out. Like, why is this taking so long? Like, dude, you broke a bone. Like, what do you think is gonna fucking happen?
Like, dude, we used to fucking, wait for things all the time. It was just think about like waiting for a movie from when it went from the theater to hitting VHS.
Oh yeah,
like Jurassic Park was like 2 years before it came out on VHS.
Dude, TV shows, you had to wait a week to see the next one. There's no on demand.
Yeah. And to me, like they're even starting to write TV shows different to the point where it's like this is made to specifically be binge watched. It's not made to fucking watch one episode and wait a fucking week.
Every single episode ends to where you need to see the next episode and you gotta watch it rather than like we watched Sopranos, right? We watched the first 2 seasons, and that was long before any kind of binge watching. And don't get me wrong, the episodes end where you want more, but they come full circle. There's, it's not like every episode has a cliffhanger and you need to know what's going to happen next. Where when I don't watch these shows, but I feel like I used to watch Arrow on Channel 11, and all these I'm sure are the same, like on these superhero shows on Netflix and everything. Every episode ends where it's like a super cliffhanger and you need to see the next one. And that shit is just like, then cliffhangers just fucking lose the value. You know what I mean? You got cliffhangers at the end of a season after 23 episodes of a fucking sitcom. You know what I mean?
I'm laughing because I actually used to watch a show in the 70s called Cliffhanger. And every episode ended on one. So you had to wait a week for the next one. Like shit.
How many seasons did that last for? I never even heard of it.
2. One was a Dracula storyline. Yeah.
It loses the power, you know? So any hoots. I love the conversation we had, but let's shift back over to the episode and throw up our spoilers so we can speak freely.
Right on.
So, all right. So back to the episode, White Bear. That was a great fucking segue. The girls are getting hunted by the dude with the mask, and she meets up with Jem and the other dude. Okay, spoilers. So if you haven't seen this, it's a perfect time to hit pause. Pop that 42-minute episode on that's going to fly by. Come back and check this shit out. So, like you said before, James, dude gets shot. Was that what you said? I don't know.
No. Nah, I fucked
They
up
get into
the
a car.
thing. I was so worried about the other spoiler that I fucking forgot about like the mid spoiler.
No, that's all right.
Thing. Yeah, I'll throw that in the fucking the little fucking blurb thing we write about the episode. J Mac fucks it up if you want to watch the episode first.
Right. They get in a car with a guy named Baxter, and he's driving out. Right?
Yeah, they shoot
before that, they shoot the guy outside in the back of the restaurant.
Oh yeah, Damien.
Yeah. So he dies there. Everybody's videotaping this guy dying, and it's just like, what the fucking are these subhumans? I mean, what's going on here? Are they zombies? What's the dealio? And not zombies where their fucking eyeballs hanging out of their socket, but zombies, digital zombies. That's a good term for it.
Right.
So, yeah. Then they end up in the car with Baxter, this guy. And that when we mentioned earlier about everyone has a quirk, whatever, and he reveals his, he's the fucking guy that was hunting them. Dun, dun, dun. So, you're like, oh shit, here we go. And basically, long story short, there's two other hunters that J Mac mentioned with the electric, right, Jay? What was it?
Yeah, the little electric knife thing,
turkey
carving
cutter,
turkey,
right?
Yeah, carving knife. And the other dude, what do you have? A baseball bat? The one he was wearing the welder's mask with the fucking symbol on it.
Yep. So they had the masks, they had their weapons, so they roll up, and it's just like getting ready to be a big old battle royale. And Jem kills Baxter, right? Because she comes back with the
I mean, when they get back to the woods and they get there, and this dude has like crucified bodies hanging up and shit.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, he has her tied up to the fucking thing. The girl Jen makes a run for it, and fucking somehow she gets away. He's got the other chick tied up. When he pulled the fucking drill out, I remember the first time I seen it, I was like, "What the fuck?"
She's like not hog tied, but like up on the thing, like
yeah, she's prone, like kind of straddled over that fucking log, and he's ready to do some foul shit.
Oh yeah.
And he even says something to, what does he say? He's like, what? Oh, they're all just watching you. Nobody's helping or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I forget the exact quote. I should have wrote it down. But
it's basically just making it so much worse. Torture.
Yeah.
Torturing the woman. Right?
Yeah.
And, so then the girl, she ends up killing Baxter, right?
Yeah.
And they go on to do the transfer, and that's when they come across the other ones that I was mentioning before. And they end up going and fighting the other two hunters, and then the shotgun, right? She gets the shotgun. This is the main woman that we've been talking about.
Yeah, they get to the White Bear
station
transmitter or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
And run into the other two hunters, and they're fucking duking it out, and she manages to get the shotgun. What's her name? Victoria, they call her?
The main girl?
Yeah, the main girl, Victoria. Gets the shotgun away. And when she goes to let it off, fucking confetti comes out
Oh yeah.
Bro, the first time I watched this that happened, I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like that whole room opens up, and dude,
I was just like, I really had. I was just. I did not know what to think, bro.
yeah, and her fucking acting job, like she would look just as confused as I felt. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, huh? They're fucking strapping her into the chair and shit.
Mhm.
And she's like so fucked up, she doesn't even realize what's happened. Like she's sitting down and they're fucking locking her up in there.
Don't forget, there's an audience of people
Yeah,
clapping.
and people are clapping, and she's like, what? Like, what the fuck? And like not even trying to fight it because she's so fucking confused as to what's happening.
I thought she won a game show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that too the first time around. I was like, oh, cool, what the fuck?
And then out comes Baxter.
Yeah.
And he is kind of a host. He is the host,
Yeah.
right? But they apparently they're a troupe of actors, and
Bowing.
this is punishment.
Ooh, what a mind fuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Bill, you said you thought it was predictable. So, what was this experience like for you?
Yeah, I'm at the same as you. When this happened, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Look, I don't know. So I wasn't sure if there's like a dream where she's like blowing confetti at people and they're clapping at her, or if like it was some, I don't know. I had no idea. Then I thought, oh, is it a prank? Like a birthday prank from her husband? What the hell?
Yeah, we don't know, but then
thought
we
her-
find out.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That guy with the welding mask. I thought that was like her husband playing a joke on her.
Yeah, at first I thought that Baxter was her husband.
Ah, because she did say we met before.
Yeah, and I was like, I was trying to, because you couldn't really see the guy's face too well in the quick flashes, and I was like trying to see, is that him?
Nah, he was like an old dude, that Baxter guy.
But yeah,
7-year-old Scottish man.
it was just crazy because it's like she and her fiance, the guy with the neck tattoo.
Oh, wait. Before you give it, they turn her chair around and make her watch videos about who she is and why she's there. So they make her watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's strapped to the chair and getting delivered all this information. Remember, she has no idea who she is, what's going on. She just has the quick little flashes and a picture of a girl.
Yeah, that shit when she's fucking watching, it's like the news clips and they're explaining the whole, what happened and the whole white bear and how this little girl's white teddy bear became like a symbol for trying to find her and all this shit.
By the way, in the backseat of the car.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that shit, it was fucking crazy. So basically, she fucking was just filming her fiance torturing and killing this little girl.
Yeah, they were spree killers or something.
Yeah.
They
Like
get arrested and he commits suicide.
Yeah, he killed himself.
And she had to ride it out on her own.
And so basically her sentence is to undergo psychological punishment at this facility called White Bear Jurassic Park. White Bear Justice Park.
Not Jurassic Park.
Justice Park.
Yep.
Wow.
Which people have to pay to go to.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm just at this point, I'm just so like it didn't really sink in until the after credits ran through.
Dude.
Just like holy shit. You see it from the other perspective.
Oh,
After
dude.
the credits.
Yeah, the fucking whole like montage of them staging all this shit back up and stuff, and even that, like, this girl, you find out that she was a piece of shit. Like, you've had sympathy for her this whole episode, and then you find out that she did this horrible fucking thing. But as she's watching what she did, she's crying hysterically, and it's like you get fucked up on how to feel about her. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the point I wanted to get to. I'm so emotionally wrenched at her, at the fact that the society is getting off on all of this, and that these people are walking around with their cell phones filming this, and it's just where is the humanity anymore? You know, on all ends. Like, no wonder why she's going around killing with this guy. Everybody's fucked in this world, you know?
Oh, I never thought like that. I was thinking more like they were like Mickey and Mallory from Natural Born Killers and going around killing people, and she's filming it. And they're just really bad people. So the fact that she filmed the murders reflected on her, of her being filmed by everybody else.
Yeah. But basically, if you look, they're doing exactly what she did to her.
Right.
But they're like doing it from the mindset of, oh, but we're good guys. And we're filming this girl basically getting tortured the same fucking way.
True.
And giggling about it.
But did you notice there was also a guy selling sponges full of blood to throw at her?
Throw at the thing.
Sponge?
Is this humane? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, she should be punished, but everybody's profiting.
But then you think too, because I got the maybe like, you know, it's just what I came to my mind, but I got the impression like the fucking dude she was with was like the actual fucking like serial killer type, and in my mind, maybe she was just some sort of like abused spouse that was stuck along for the ride on this thing.
Because we don't know. We don't see what happens, right?
You don't see. You know that she filmed everything, but you don't know how she was reacting to filming it. You know what I'm saying?
Why would a normal person film that, though?
Oh, excuse me.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously guilty, but you know, we don't know if she was filming it with malicious intent, with the intent because she's under substance abuse and being controlled by her partner, or being forced, you know, unwillingly and having to do it by her. We don't know the circumstances.
True.
A, she can't remember, and B, we don't see the video. You know,
they play it when they rehook her up at the end. He plays it for her while he's like, "You should remember it. You filmed it."
Right. That's the last thing she watched.
Right. But we don't see. We don't know
we don't see
how
the
she filmed it. We don't know, what, you know,
exactly that's what
why and how.
My thing is, if this.
Laughing.
Yeah, if this girl was like innately evil, wouldn't she been reacting differently to the fucking people just filmed? Like the most violent, dangerous thing she put out there was like she threw a rock at somebody or something.
Yeah, a brick at someone's back.
Yeah, like when they were getting too close, and it was because they were literally like fucking chasing her down and filming shit. Like Joey was saying, like, it's society so fucked up where if you take enjoyment in punishing somebody, like, aren't you just as fucked up as the person who did the crime in a way?
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing. Like, think about Clockwork Orange, right? Because that's what I started thinking about too with this.
Yes.
And he eventually they let him loose because he's quote unquote healed, right? So isn't she now? Remember earlier I said, look at her hair, like it looks like it hasn't been washed forever. Like, dude,
it hasn't.
It hasn't, right? The next day is this all over again. It's a fucking. It's not just being punished, but it's a theme park. White Bear Justice Park, like people are profiting off this. Like Bill said, people are selling bloody sponges to throw.
Dude, so, parking.
Disney World connection.
Connects. Bro, parking was 12 pounds.
When they're showing the fucking like the little seminar before it starts, and they're running down the rules of this shit.
Was awesome.
It was unbelievable, right? And it reminds you of fucking being in Disney World. It's like, you know, and take small children by the hand, you know, like fucking keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times, kind of shit. You're like, they're like, then it's like, and most importantly, enjoy yourself. And it's like, yo, you're watching this girl get fucking like, you know, tortured and shit.
Yeah. Oh, and seeing them reset for the next day.
Yeah, that was fucking insane.
Put the pills back on the floor, put the bandage on her arm, do this.
And
like
when
if the episode ended without that, it would have been like, wow, this is a great episode. But that took to a whole other level.
Yep.
Yeah. And to see what she physically went through while they were doing like the mind erasing or whatever, I guess, and she's in that chair and she's fucking screaming and fucking like convulsing and shit.
That was obviously painful.
While it's going on, it's like, like, God damn. And then you look and he marks it off and it's like the 19th fucking day of the month. Yeah. I meant to go back to fucking rewind back and listen to see specifically if they said like a date that this shit had happened, just to get an idea of like how long this has actually been going on.
True.
for her because I mean it was like the 19th of October they were on.
Right.
But was it just starting from the beginning of October? Has this been going on for fucking months, like years? What the fuck, you know?
Yeah. And this chick, she's like, dude, she was a great final girl, basically. I mean, the way she like screamed in terror throughout the episode, especially in that last convulsing scene, and like how it just like cuts and like the guards are sitting outside and just hear that, like scream, like primal, like end of the like this is it, like just kill me now, scream.
He begged him, kill me.
Oh,
he said,
gosh.
You say that every day.
And like, no, I'm a human being, bro. I know this woman did fucked up things, but like, I don't want to see that happen to another person. Maybe if you're like a child rapist,
look at
cut
Anthony.
Dick off and there's your punishment or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the day in and day out torture. I don't know. I don't know.
Casey, O.J. Simpson. People want to see them go through that every day.
I'm sorry.
People like Casey Anthony,
who
murdered a child, O.J. Simpson, people like that. The public wants to see that happen to them every day.
I don't want to see that happen. I want to see them punished, but I don't want to see them to the brink where every single second is human depravity. I don't approve of that. I definitely think they should be incarcerated, get beaten every once in a while. You know what I mean? But not fucking.
I hear you. But look at the mob mentality now, like on Twitter. James Gunn made some crazy posts in the past, but they wanted blood. They would not stop until he was fired. Like, look at Roseanne Barr. Like things like that. The mob mentality, just want to see them punished until they're dead, no more.
So just kill them if that's the punishment. Like if I'm not saying death penalty. I'm for the death penalty. Yeah, just fucking kill them because then you're gonna spend a ton of money letting them live. Okay, so punishment is your life should end. That's it. They should have just killed the chick, and that would have been that instead of torturing her day in and day out like that.
Subsequently, like they don't specifically say is this like a state-ran facility. It looks like an amusement park. In the future, are they implying like maybe fucking some company will be able to buy the rights to this prisoner to be able to do shit like this?
Well, that's the thing. I assume that there's now Bandersnatch, right? Connections. What are you guys thinking? Because some of you guys saw that scene where it's like it backs out and it's like a stage.
I don't know what you mean.
Wait, you talking about a Bandersnatch,
right? In one of the endings, right? Doesn't he like kill his father, and then it ends up being a stage or some shit like that? I don't remember. There's so many endings.
I don't remember either, but I think
I don't remember that one specifically. But to me, I think they use that symbol in Bandersnatch. It's about choices. You know what I'm saying? And the girl Jem, when she first sees her and sees the fucking bandages on her wrist, she says something like, "Oh, suicide." She was like, was that oh, that's the fun fork in the road.
Yeah,
like, that symbol is essentially like a fork. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go either way.
A choice.
Yeah, this girl made the choice to stand there and film and not do nothing to stop what was happening to that little girl. And this is the repercussion that she's getting because of it.
I have one big question about this. The little black girl, why in the hell was her name Jemima?
That's like a normal name in England, dude. Not just the fucking syrup woman.
I was like, what?
Syrup woman.
Jemima?
It's a character's name in Peppa Pig.
Oh man.
Oh, dude.
That's funny.
Not just the syrup woman. That shit,
I have no idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't have fucking known that shit. I fucking hated Peppa Pig. I thought that bitch was a demon when my kid used to watch it.
Oh shit.
But yeah, what a fucking episode.
Yeah. So, I guess it's the way that I guess, the punishment goes. How does he get punished at the end of that thing? He goes to jail.
He killed himself. He hanged himself.
In Bandersnatch, you talking about, or in
Bandersnatch?
In Bandersnatch, he goes to jail, right? Yeah.
And then people come to see him. We don't know who they are.
I have to
I know. I want to go back and rewatch it and shit. And
I think one of them, he dies in jail. He kills himself. And then that's when you get the 5-star rating for his game. I don't remember.
Which also takes place in the 80s. We don't know when White Bear takes place with the cell phone. So it's
there's cell phone memory wipe machines that take a half hour of painful agony to work.
So that means in the chronology. That's the chronology. Bandersnatch takes place at least 30 years before White Bear. So now the justice, it could be the way J-Mac says, where you get the rights to a prisoner, because think about the prison institutions, it's all private, and not all private, but you know what I mean. Most of it is private now, and people are profiting off it, just like in this. People were profiting off this.
Oh, do you remember that one Bandersnatch ending we mentioned where he's in jail and we had no idea who these people were that came to see him?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It's.
If you say we'll let you go free if you sign this waiver, who knows?
Because in Bandersnatch, it makes sense with the choices, right? Yep. But in the context of White Bear, it just seems to just be because now it's on the guy's neck. That's the whole thing. If it wasn't on the guy's neck, I would be, maybe that's one of the first cases that they experimented with, and it became the logo for the kind of punishment.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he says he has the tattoo like before. You know what I'm saying? Isn't like he got it after they were arrested. He had it already.
See, right. So that just became the logo for the punishment. You know what I mean? Like if the girl's seen that attacking him, right? Like or on the face, right? That logo, because she sees it on his neck. It's not a direct memory of him, like the picture of the girl, because that's not her lover, her fiance, that she would be more familiar with. You know what I'm saying? So maybe.
Yeah. See, I think maybe they were going for, like, depending on which ending you did in Bandersnatch, if he ends up in prison and that symbol was around the guy who wrote the book, fucking who ended up killing whoever the fuck, cutting his wife's head off or some shit. Like, how people kind of become fucking like fanboys of serial killer types and shit.
Yes.
That fucking symbol could have been, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like somebody getting a Charles Manson tattoo or some shit.
That's it. The guy wrote the book who killed his wife, which made the kid put that in his video game. And then this kid grew up with this video game 30 years later, put the tattoo on his neck, was killing people. The company's like, oh, we like that symbol. Choices, bam, there you go. Done.
Wow, I'm just so fucking mind-boggled right now by all of this shit. Like, trying to piece together the fucking connections.
Or it could have just been they were looking for a fucking Easter egg from the series to throw in fucking Bandersnatch. And they were like, hey, remember that symbol from fucking White Bear? Let's do that,
Right. I mean, it's on the TV, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
It's on the phones. It's on the guy's mask. It's on, yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention, the guy with that mask with the shotgun was Baxter. And when he killed that guy outside the gas station and everyone's filming him, he gets up and takes a bow and was like, yeah, he's spitting the blood out. Remember?
Yeah. To me, like the first time around, I didn't think of it. But then, like, after seeing it a few times, I'm like, you got a fucking shotgun. Like, why are you trying to push a door open to glass fucking? Just blow a hole through the fucking window and go in there if you want to.
I thought that when he blew the tires out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, did he really do that? I don't know. Could be special effects, right? The
Yeah,
tires.
probably, man. But it just this fucking episode is madness. And I remember the first time watching it, like, and you know, like I said, I've seen it a bunch of times and it doesn't get old. Like that fucking flip, it still goes by like in a heartbeat, man.
I'll watch it
And
again.
yeah, this shit was
You
fucking
know,
awesome.
I'm totally, I'm totally thinking now that okay, so just picture this, right? Like this low, this, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes in the government, right? So what if this is like some agency type thing where like the boyfriend, they went crazy and kidnapped the girl because they got experimented on, hence why the logo was on his neck, right? And maybe this becomes a place where okay, now we'll profit off these people at the same time. It's just a big ass company that is involved with all the crazy shit going on in the universe of Black Mirror. Does this come up in any other episodes that you've seen, J-Mac?
Not this exact thing. There is some stuff about using technology as like a punishment, but not the same way it is in this.
Because if Stefan is in White Bear Justice Park or a similar version of that, right? Because for the murder of his dad, right?
Yeah.
Because he's etching it on the wall when he's in prison, right?
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm thinking more along the lines of just fanboy type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This dude is a fan. He's a fucking serial killer. He's a fucking fan of serial killers. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Hannibal Lecter, Buffalo Bill type thing. Not even serial killers, just fucking, whack jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is a fucking a conspiracy group of the universe of Black Mirror. That's what I think, because there's also in that Bandersnatch, like on the paperwork where it has his like name written and stuff. It has all the files have that logo on it. So maybe this is, like I said, like
a mind control MK Ultra type fucking deal.
It's just some government, non-government agency that is in this universe and has been around in this universe for a long time. Like if Bandersnatch didn't take place in the 80s, it would be almost definitive for me. But the fact that there's so much time between it, I mean, maybe this stems back because remember it appears on the screen too of the girl, right? When the daughter of the hacker with the whole
Pearl, yeah.
So it comes on then too. So like this thing was around, in this universe in present time, where White Bear might have actually been taking place with the cell phones, right?
Well,
and even before Bandersnatch, meaning like, so maybe this was like some JFK 50s, 60s type shit,
Could be. Or maybe like Aleister Crowley or some shit. But there's one person to ask. This particular episode was written by Charlie Brooker. And
he knows it all. That's the thing.
He also wrote Bandersnatch. So.
But like I've read interviews and shit with him, and there's nothing that like he hasn't given anything away,
See, everything I had seen about this episode up till this point barely even mentions that symbol. Like any fucking article I've read about Black Mirror or fucking whatever. But now that Bandersnatches came out with it, now people are trying to find a connection. But prior to this, that symbol was almost like it didn't mean anything. It was just a fucking symbol the guy had on the back of his neck. So they used, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like I said, and Bandersnatch was so heavy with fucking Easter eggs that it could have just been, hey, let's use that symbol from fucking White Bear in this.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with us, you know?
And to get people to sit around talking about it for a half hour on a podcast.
Half hour.
Yeah, right. Fucking.
You know, I just feel like the fiance, now that I'm thinking about this more and more, I just feel like the fiance is, you know, ended up getting experimented on, hence why the tattoo was on his neck and why he abducted a little girl, you know? And maybe he forced her to fucking film this stuff, you know?
Yeah. But to me, I could see him forcing her to film it, or her being almost like, because if you got a dude who's willing to like brutalize a fucking child like that, you can't imagine he's like the greatest husband in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like,
no, like it's not true. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
don't
like,
you think that if you said it earlier, she was innately evil, that
she would, you know, get a kick out of watching this shit all over again, of fucking some kind of inflated ego by it. But she was horrified at what the fuck she did. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah.
Or who knows? Maybe they ran a snuff film video company.
It's like Total Recall.
Yeah. 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 Shit.
So man, I think we could keep going with this. We still have another movie, right?
Yeah, we still gotta hit up the movie, man.
All right, well, let's rate this bad boy and moving on, I guess, because I think more talk about the youth and society is going to go down in this next conversation too. So
yeah,
let's continue that. But I mean, it's 5 out of 5 for me. It doesn't get better than this when it comes to Black Mirror, man. I mean, I don't know if it's because I saw if I didn't see Bandersnatch, would I be looking into it as hard? No, I'd definitely be blown away by the episode. Still, that's for sure. Right? It's crazy.
I mean, just from my point of view, dude, the only thing deeper to look into because of Bandersnatch is the symbol. The rest of the commentary about, you know, people turning into zombies with cell phones and fucking, you know, society's kind of wants to punish people, but are also getting off on punishing people. So they just as fucked up as the people that are doing fucked up shit in the first place, kind of deal. Right. That's already there. You know what I mean?
Right. The morality is there. It's just the universal narrative arc that I'm intrigued by. You know, I love that. That's why, you know, before we're talking off air, I'm like, I want to get into Dune, you know, and go down that road because I love universal things that have universes, you know. So yeah, but you're right, 100%. As a standalone, you don't need that. You don't need that whole connection to the bigger universe, but because it encompasses everything that it needs to, you know, the things like, you know, is this what goes around comes around, eye for an eye type, all this kind of shit, worth it in the end for a human being to be punished in this manner? That's up to you to decide, right? It's up to you to see where your morality lies, and I like that. It's interesting, you know. It kind of gauges on. That's what I love about the show. It kind of like makes you question yourself as a human being, and where do you stand with technology? Where do you stand with interacting with other humans? And where do you stand in this society that is ever changing in such a rapid manner that 2013, when this episode came out, to now, wow, has humans gone to a whole nother level, you know? Like we've said, killers, literal killers, you know? Pretty crazy. So, Bill, wait,
yeah,
did you rate it?
I did. First of all, I want to mention that before I watched the show, a lot of people said it's like the Twilight Zone. I disagree. It's more like The Outer Limits to me, where it's sci-fi. All right. Secondly, I want to mention that this is my most favorite episode I've ever seen of this show. This has more horror. This is like a slasher movie or show. This had everything I wanted with twist upon twist upon twist. And I was going to say a 4.5, but then I realized the scene in the woods where Baxter takes them first, and you see the bodies of people hanging on the trees crucified. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, to see them preparing to do that again, climb up those ladders, 5. This is a 5 out of 5.
Hell yeah. So 5s all around then, eh?
Yep.
Seems to be the collective best episode so far.
Yeah, my favorite.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, we're not taking a break. This is not the Horror Mafia podcast. So, without further ado, let's shift into our featured film this week. And that we've been trying to get to since before the hiatus. And what would that be, Bill?
The River's Edge, 1986. A high school slacker commits a shocking act and proceeds to let his friends in on the secret. However, his friend's reaction is almost as ambiguous and perplexing as the crime itself. Directed by Tim Hunter, written by Neil Jimenez. This movie stars Keanu Reeves, Crispin Glover, Daniel Roebuck, Dennis Hopper, and Joshua Miller.
All right. So, first time watch for me, first time watch for J-Mac. My initial thoughts on this film, I didn't know what to expect, honestly. When I first heard about it from you, Bill, I envisioned it as Stand By Me. And it had Slayer in it, and it was like, dude, this is heavy metal. And I'm like, what? But this still is like Stand By Me in many ways, except almost like the not the polar opposite, but the antithesis of that film Stand By Me, right?
Hey, want to see a dead body?
Yeah, but the question is what happens after seeing that dead body. In Stand By Me, there's a morality where in River's Edge, morality gets broken, right?
River Phoenix's Edge.
It's been a long time. We could go with that. So yeah, my initial thoughts was, wow, this was a gritty film. Now, at the same time, I was like thinking about this in the context of when it came out mid 80s versus today. And we'll talk about that later, but my initial thoughts was this is a great film without a doubt. So J-Mac, let's kick it to you.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it until Bill started talking about it, and all I knew about it was, it was an '80s movie that had Keanu Reeves in it, and like for some reason I had this like Bill and Ted version of fucking Stand By Me in my head that it was gonna be like that, and then I started watching it, and this thing it was fucking grimy and it was awesome, and my fucking son actually ended up watching it with me. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be so much dead titty laying around.
Not just titty, the bush.
Yeah, a little bush in there. But he's, he's 12 now, so it isn't like he's getting there. But at one point he said to me, he's like, Dad, this is like a horror movie, but it's not scary. Like he couldn't explain what it was doing to him, but that was like his best way of putting it out there, I guess. And I was like, you know what? I kind of know what the fuck you mean, even though I can't explain it either. Like
feeling of unease, right?
Yeah.
You know what it gives me the feeling of? Watching the recent movies like Hereditary and A Quiet Place and Suspiria, where you're like on edge almost because you don't know what's gonna fucking happen next. And you're just like waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and all the way down to the last scene. And it's like, holy shit, because and you know what it reminded me too in many ways? Almost like a teenage version of Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Before Twin Peaks, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
86, Twin Peaks was 89, 90. So
88, right.
It reminds me of that in many ways. I was like, because they were just, especially the Crispin Glover character who was over the top, but it worked.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, this was like perfect for like when teenage angst in the 80s like really got dark, like even the Grateful Dead scene in the 80s got dark, like because you think about it, like in the 60s it was like sex, love, and rock and roll. In the 70s, like people started going into disco and rock was starting to quote unquote die, which obviously it wasn't. But then in the 80s, right, things went to a weird place in the rock and roll world. It's like heavy metal, Hail Satan. Don't get me wrong, you know, I love that stuff, right? But you know, unfortunately, you know, in when you go into that stuff, there is some negativity that comes along with it, right? And when you go into like the small towns where this takes place, and you know, there's a bit of lack of, I guess, familia structure. It's easy for a kid to enter a dark place. You know what I mean? And they wore the same clothes every day for like a week. So I mean,
Yeah.
that Inside Out Iron Maiden shirt, like, that the little touch just like that added so much to this movie. Just having them wear the same clothes. Oh man, it was grunge before grunge, you know?
Can you imagine like Rob Zombie doing this now?
What?
I said, can you imagine Rob Zombie remaking this now?
He'd make his wife the dead girl. We'd have to look at her naked fucking whole movie long.
She'd be riding it on a white pony. But all right, so Bill, and your initial thoughts and experience, because this is our first and we loved it.
I saw this on video in like 87. Holy Christ. I loved it. And I immediately knew it was based on a true story. However, I got the stories mixed up. See, growing up in New York on Long Island, have you ever heard of Ricky Casso?
No.
There's a album called Say You Love Satan. Well, metalhead kids hanging out. And this one kid, he was into metal role-playing games like D&D, always wore an AC/DC shirt, and he dealt drugs and did a lot of drugs. And he killed this one kid named Gary Lars over something stupid. He was like, say you love Satan. And the kid's like, no, I love my mommy. And he killed the kid. And the same thing, he dumped the body and he invited his friends to come see the body. And he was like some weird, like satanic guy, you know? Turns out that's not what the story is based on, even though it happened around the same time. 84 is when that happened.
Right.
Turns out this happened in California, where a guy named Anthony Broussard, he raped and strangled this girl named Marcy Conrad. And it was California. And the guy was also big for his size, and he dumped the body. And again, the kids came and saw and viewed the body, and the kid who died, she wasn't even reported for like a month or so. And then, like, yeah, this is more accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, holy crap, the story's wrong, but I love this movie.
You know, I did a little research into this, and apparently the people who saw this movie in the town actually said, like, you nailed it. Like, you fucking nailed it, dude.
California people?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because there was a lot of people that were trying to, like, say that, oh, they're trying to, like, profit off of this and everything. But the actual, like, the sheriff who was involved they said that you nailed it, you know, like, you really did a good job and you encompassed the way it, you know, kind of was. So, and that's the thing. Look at that. Like, something that happened, you know, all the way across the country in the same decade, just a few years apart. And again, you know, dark shit started happening in the 80s. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, David Bowie started fucking with, you know, magic then and shit. So
did you cast a spell on Jimmy Page to kill him or something? I don't know. That's what I heard.
Yeah, some shit.
That's what I heard.
But
yeah, there's no doubt about it that, especially like, you start to see the disconnect between like the classic family structure. You know, you see a lot more divorce. The divorce rate goes up. You know, you have more working parents that are working, the latchkey kid, right? Where back in the day, you didn't have that as much. You had the traditional mother role fulfilled by the wife, right? So she was always home, made sure she's on top of things. So then, and that's the thing, like, where is all these people's parents? I think you see like one of their parents throughout the whole movie, the main kids.
No, you see the Italian kid's parent, Tony's parent, his dad.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was a real fucking charmer. Right? And literally bucking at them. But you know, that's the thing that I think yeah, I was reading a retrospective of this movie in Salon, and dude, they go the darkest teen film of all time, and I'm thinking back like,
didn't they see Gummo or Kids?
I didn't see Gummo, but this definitely reminded me of Kids. Like I definitely was like, the grittiness of Kids was definitely influenced by this, without a doubt.
Now, I was the same age around this time because in '84, when the real murder, or not the real murder was '81, but the one I thought, I was 15. So I was in that era with metal and D&D and like satanic Bibles and stuff. So I get it. These people were not, like you said, Crispin Glover was over exaggerating. No, dude. I knew people like him. I knew people like Keanu Reeves' character. Like, exactly.
Yeah.
That little kid. That fucking little kid, the brother with the Def Leppard shirt. That was always someone's little brother tagging along. Get the fuck out.
With chip on his shoulder, wanted to always hang out with the older kids.
Yep. Stealing beer at 11.
Smoking pot.
You were talking about like, this and Kids. I think even now, like kids of today would see the movie Kids and not
laugh at it almost.
Yeah, like I don't think it had the same effect on that it did on us.
Wow.
As with this movie, I think would still fuck with them. You know what I'm saying?
Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean this opens up with a fucking a freaking two high schoolers, one of them killing the other one, and her dead body just naked. I mean, did he necrophilize her? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
did he rape her?
She was dressed when he killed her.
True. And
why
real life, he did rape her first.
Yeah, like why take her clothes off after she was already dead? You know what I'm saying? Unless you were.
And don't forget, Jamie was the ex-girlfriend of Keanu Reeves' character.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep. Crazy.
It was just, it's just scary, bro, because this was all those years ago. And that was long before, the technology now. That was just TVs and Atari. I mean, that's it, right?
Have a Walkman or something.
Yeah.
It was, but
corded phones.
Yeah. I mean, there's always been teenage angst, but just this, the sense of this depravity, I don't know if it was ever there before. I mean, it was there. It definitely was there, but I feel like it wasn't as dirty,
How about that little
it was more in you've seen a lot more of this kind of stuff in elitist communities back in the day.
Yeah, the suburbs.
Because even like hundreds of years ago, because I feel like the common folk had to work together more, and humans were on a totally different level back then in working together. And
like Caligula
were the ones who were really the real super corrupt ones. I mean, look at today, it's kind of similar, but you know what I'm saying? There was still a sense of camaraderie between humanity where, if we're in a neighborhood, right, and everybody's poor, right, everybody's, and not in a society today, I'm talking hundreds of years ago, right, where everybody has a role. I'm the baker, I'm the farmer, you know what I mean? Everybody works together to make things work. Don't get me wrong, there's still things that are fucked up, corruption and shit, but that's all the time, but not on the level of the elitists of our time. Those are the real vagabonds.
Well, to be the what do you call that when there's is that juxtaposition with the good and the bad? Well, you have all the depravity, right? And then you got that little sister. She is innocence. She is pure.
Yeah.
How could
You know what I automatically juxtapose her to? The older girls that are just letting this shit happen.
Oh,
You know, she's gonna grow up to be them times 10. You know,
oh, I hope not.
I hope not, but that's just what I see from this film. You know, like
Man.
there's no, you know, it's hard to escape fate. You know, and sometimes fate, you can't change it. You're gonna end up like mom, like brother, like
Yeah.
you know.
Sad.
But real, I mean, dude, you know, you see it all the time in society today, right? Just, you know, yeah, I want to make it out, but it's just a lot easier to go this route that everybody's setting me up with, you know?
Right. Also, want to note, apart from horror favorites, Crispin Glover and what's his name, Daniel Roebuck as the big kid, you also had Taylor Negron, the late Taylor Negron, playing the
From Easy Money.
money. I'm the man. And him, he was in what? Nothing But Trouble,
Biodome.
Biodome. He played a clerk also in what's it called? Dazed and Confused. They were trying to buy beer from him in there.
Was he?
I think so.
You know who he was in? Nothing But Trouble.
Nothing But Trouble. Yeah. He was great in that.
Oh, he was the fucking pizza guy in Fast Times.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love him. He passed away recently. I really love his movies.
You know what else he was in? Fucking I don't remember. Fuck.
Not Last Boy Scout.
I don't know.
Anyway, he's in a lot of great movies.
Yeah, you know who he is, and you see his face. I was trying to think of like, I feel like he was in like TV shows or something.
Huh, I don't know. He's in a lot of stuff.
But yeah, anywho, you know him. I mean, I know him mostly from the husband in Easy Money of Rodney Dangerfield's daughter. He's hysterical.
Yep. The kid's telling him behind the bush, I'm the man.
I'm the man.
Love it.
Telling him what to say though out the window.
Daniel Roebuck. He's been in the kid who the killer, Samson, John.
Phantasm 5.
Phantasm 5. He was what was his name? The like, hello, I'm going to. He was like the farmhand.
Demeter.
Yeah, right. He was in 31. He was the priest in the beginning who got killed by Death Head or Doomhead. I mean, whatever. Oh man, so many movies.
Yeah, man.
Was he Devil's Rejects? I don't know. A lot of Rob Zombie's movies.
And dude, we haven't fucking mentioned Feck, Dennis Hopper.
Feck. Who didn't know a guy like this? Come on.
That was my Ricky Kawas.
See? Everybody knows a Feck with his Feck weed.
Oh, dude. We first see him, he's like playing the saxophone and shit. Like the movie's so fucking crazy up to that point. Like just in general, like the fucking it opens up, the little kids throwing a fucking doll off the bridge, dead bodies. This fucking it was crazy. But then there's like the blow up doll in the back. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's fucking awesome.
Notice that in the movie they mentioned the movie Easy Rider, which had Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, of course.
Playing a biker. Hey.
I got beat up by a bunch of bikers.
Mm-hmm. He was a biker in this, yeah.
Got beat up by a bunch of them. They left him behind.
Right. Oh, yeah, right. There was so he lost his leg. Yeah. Wow, the character in him. He was absolutely crazy. He was Dennis Hopper. It
reminded me of a toned down version of the Blue Velvet character.
That's what I said. Oh my God. But at the end, you think maybe he's not really too crazy.
Yeah. In the end, it was like, wow, yeah, he wasn't too crazy. And there's no real spoilers in this movie. That's the beauty of this too. We can talk about it freely, The one spoiler would be that last scene with
Oh yeah.
you know, because I was like, whoa, that the tension was just slowly building between them two. And once he actually hit his brother and the brother was just out to kill him, I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
But even like there was a couple of lines that have like comedy in it in this shit almost. When the fucking brother goes, "Get your nunchucks in your dad's car." Dude, get your nunchucks in your dad's car. I know where to get a gun. What the fuck?
He killed the Chucks. He had the Bruce poster on his wall. I love that kid.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
That was the 80s.
The 80s.
Yep. Bruce Lee movies, nunchucks, drone stars,
drinking and driving.
Drinking and driving, yeah. I want to hear J-Mac talk about this now.
Oh man, like I said, it's just such like a it's almost like dirty to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you feel like fucking filthy almost while you're watching this, and you see these kids, and it's like, well, why don't you just fucking tell someone this fucking girl's body is just laying out there in the fucking elements and shit? And then this might be my favorite Crispin Glover movie ever.
Yeah, man.
He was fucking ridiculous.
John, we gotta get rid of the bodies.
You owe me a $6 for this, man. What the fuck? And then he's like, what the fuck? He's like, the fucking things I do for my friends. And it's like, it's about fucking stashing some fucking girl's body, man. It was just.
But like, why was he so obsessed? Is it he had nothing, you know?
I think it's just he had nothing else to do. Like he felt like he was part of something, like something cool is happening. This is like an adventure we're going on. You know what I mean?
Like, what was he doing? We didn't get his family life. We didn't see his parents.
Nah.
You know? It just seemed like.
But he kind of fancied himself like the leader of that fucking pack, you know, of friends. So he was just, you know, trying to take the reins. Like, I got this, guys, you know?
This is a movie where, you know, and you see this in many other films. I feel like I was talking about this recently and about something else too, but the absentees of adults, like, you know, and the adults that we do see, they're not the most reliable. Feck, you know, he's one side of it, and then the sheriff, the other side of it, like, not sure, you know, that guy that was like antagonizing
Matt.
Neo.
Yeah, Neo.
Neo.
You know what I'm talking about. Bill. Ted.
Matt.
Fucking Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah.
Keanu. You know, so you have those two, and then you have the guy with the shotgun and the mother. Those are the only like real, you know, adult family figures that you see in the film.
What about the mother's boyfriend?
Who was a jerk off.
Yeah. The only reason you stay here so you could fuck my mother and eat her food, motherfucker, food eater.
Eater.
That's the thing. That's the funny part about it. Like the shit that they say, the shit these kids say, like it's just such a fucked up moment, and then they say shit like that, and you just can't help but laugh.
I agree, man. This is, I don't know. It's realistic from the 80s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, another thing, like punishing, right? Like this guy John kills the girl, and none of these kids seem to care too much. I mean, they laugh it off, think it's a joke, but then even when they see the body, they're just like, all right.
They go about their way. School. You know? Yeah.
And the two of them are like being interviewed on TV, and you could tell like they're fucking loving it.
Famous.
So it's, you know, and this is what, over 30 years ago. So no, 30, holy shit, over 30 years ago. So, you know, that was then, and that was definitely the, you know, some of the beginning phases of post 1950s egoism, right? I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but I just made it up.
Just a cool something, sure.
But it's, you know, the aftermath of materialism, consumerism, and too much technology, right?
What technology is in this movie? arcade games and dial-up phones.
Yeah, enough for escapism.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, think about the role of the arcade in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, it was you met at the arcade, right? Like we were growing up, we met on stoops in Brooklyn, but
Or the concrete, what do you call it? The chain link fence basketball court.
yep. But J-Mac, where did we meet? There's one spot that had video games that kids used to meet when we were real young.
I'm gonna guess the pizza place.
Nope.
Okay.
It's about the Boys of Summer.
Boys of Summer.
Boys of Summer. Dude, just recently I was trying to find like any like picture of the Boys of Summer, and I couldn't find anything. That fucking store, man, I like lived in there for a little while.
Yep.
Used to steal all kinds of shit out of it. Dude,
that's a whole nother conversation to be.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Big Giuseppe went in there like a fucking boss. That's another conversation we had.
Yeah, but like you were saying, even without with the absence of today's fucking technology and electronics for these kids to kind of get lost in, there was still almost like a sense of fucking like narcissism among them, where they were kind of just indifferent to the fact there's a fucking dead body there, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
oh yeah.
If you think about it, there's one kid in the whole bunch who was actually, besides Matt, who had morals. That was the guy who job, had a car, a truck, remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the first one that Crispin thought was the snitch.
Yep. Right away.
Somebody narked on us, man.
Yep.
Dude, he was really good in this movie.
Everybody was.
And that hair.
That was a wig.
It was amazing, though.
I mean, just when he takes it. I'll go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
Same year, he was in Friday the 13th, Part 4. So, the dead fuck.
Yeah.
Speaking of 4, I read somewhere that Corey Haim was originally cast in this as Tim.
Really?
Yeah, but he had pneumonia.
Yeah, he got sick. He couldn't do it.
Friday 4?
No,
in this. Corey Haim.
Haim was gonna be in this movie?
Yeah. I was thinking of Corey Feldman, and fucking Corey Haim came to mind. Sorry. Those Corys always get confused.
Did not know that. Wait, Tim is the kid. Oh, dude. The little brother. You know who that is, right? If you're a horror fan, you probably saw Near Dark.
Yep.
He was Homer.
Yep.
The 60-year-old vampire trapped in a 10-year-old kid's body.
So he was in
and the recent, was it Tragedy Girls, right?
I didn't see that.
Didn't he direct it?
I don't know, but he also produced and maybe directed The Wizard of Gore with Crispin Glover. Or no, he was in it. I don't know. He was involved in it. Also, he's the son of The Exorcist's Jason Miller, Father Karras, who passed away. Interesting.
He was also in Halloween 3.
What's that?
He was in Halloween 3.
Joshua Miller?
Oh, yeah. He was the kid.
Willie.
Yeah.
Who's that, son of Tom Atkins?
No, wasn't he the one that gets killed with the mask on?
No, it wasn't that kid.
Well, who was this kid in recently? Oh, no. He wrote The Final Girls. Did I say? No, did I say Tragedy Girls?
Oh, he wrote. He might have. He also did that one Oz Perkins directed. I forgot the name of it. It was really good. He wrote that with him. All right. I got to look this kid up now.
But yeah, you know him as Homer from Near Dark. That's his.
He's been a bunch of shit, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's on an episode of Ghost Rider.
Yay. But
21
anyway,
Jump Street.
Yeah. He wrote The Final Girls.
What was I going to say about this movie now? Forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, anyway, this is definitely a sad movie. and a real movie. Obviously, it's based off of a real story, and part of that real story was the kid, like Bill said, was bragging about it at school. He was showing several students this, and nobody said anything for days. So, like, say, oh, that would never happen in real life. It did on the West Coast and the East Coast.
The girl in the photographs, which I loved. Joshua Miller wrote it with Oz Perkins, I believe. It's not credited though. Weird. You guys see that?
Dude, we gotta talk about the soundtrack too, man.
Holy yes, we do.
Badassery, eh?
Yes, it is.
Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Agent Orange.
Yeah.
What else is on there? What else?
I don't have it pulled up. I could.
I don't know, but they got 2 Slayer songs on there.
I know. Damn it. Now you're making me look it up.
Somebody did the music to it too. I don't remember.
The score?
Yeah, some band. I don't remember. It's probably on the Wikipedia page. But yeah, all in all, this is definitely great to visit. Definitely is a soul wrencher. It's a fucking very, very bleak film. It's, adds to the collection of films that, like we say, Kids and Bully, Gummo, which I haven't seen, but falls in that realm, where we see the youngsters in a very dark light, right? Because usually we don't see teenage films with this such negative stigma.
Yeah, it's like the Goonies,
right? This is the polar opposite of the Goonies, right? So
yeah, this is dark, man. It's fucking like depraved. It's fucked up, but it's awesome at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the thing about it. Like the very beginning, you don't like see the murder. It's just you see the dead body. So it's not like, it's like people are gonna get whacked one by one or something like that. This is a drama. This is a thriller. This is psychological horror in a way. This is fucking nerve-wracking. This, it hits you in the gut.
And even though I liked how it was done, where the actual, when you do see the murder, it's getting cut between scenes of the sex scene.
Yeah.
And that girl, like they're going back and forth between that, and it's fucking crazy.
It's a very demoralizing film. It really makes you question, what, just like in the last episode, right? Like, in the last discussion, we had the people, filming, right, with a phone, the fuck up things happen. Here, we don't have phones yet, and like we don't have cell phones. This is 1980s, but we have kids seeing a dead body, not fucking reporting that one of our friends killed our other friend.
And they almost had no reactions to it at all, because even when he's like, he killed what's her name, and fucking dude was like what'd you kill her for? She was talking shit, and it's like just like, oh yeah,
shit, yeah, no problem.
Slayer's got 4 songs on this.
Nice.
Hallows Eve, Fate's Warning, Agent Orange, and Burning Spear.
Yeah, but that reggae song by Burning Spear.
And Wipers, whoever they are. But yeah.
Excellent.
How about that ending?
Oof.
The kid finally gets a gun. Wow.
Yeah, man. I actually loved the ending because I didn't think it was going to go down like that. I thought he was going to, bang.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, there is some positivity left in human beings. Yay.
To me, you're right. It was the tension. You ever see what's that one with Bruce Willis, M. Night Shyamalan?
Unbreakable.
Remember that scene with the kid with the gun? The tension was like that for me.
Yeah, and this Friday you get Glass, which is getting I guess negative reviews.
I don't believe reviews. Is it this Friday? Like 2
Yeah,
days away?
yeah.
Oh snap!
Of course, it comes out on a weekend. I'm fucking working, so I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to wait to be able to see it. But I wanted to watch Unbreakable again anyway because I haven't seen that shit in so fucking long.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I want to watch both that and
Yeah. Me too. Seen them both, but want to see them in order and then see this.
yeah, I haven't seen Unbreakable since forget about it.
Yeah.
I rented it back in the day. I remember watching it with my mother, and she was just like watching it with me, like, "What is it?"
I saw it in Vegas actually in the theater.
But yeah. So River's Edge, if you haven't seen it, it's definitely a must watch. I can't believe J Mac and I had never heard of this movie before.
That's the thing.
I feel like this is a movie that more people should be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really had no clue this shit even existed.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I agree. I hear you. No one talks about it.
Nope. So shall we rate and go to bed?
Yeah.
All right. It's been a great episode. So let's rate this bad boy. I don't even know if I wrote the rating down. So let's kick it to Bill.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going with a 4.
4 out of 10. No.
I've seen it before. If you would have asked me in like 1990, I would have said 5. But it didn't hold up for me as much as it used to.
All right. And J Mac?
I'll probably go like a 4.5, man. Because I did really enjoy it. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect it being what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, also I kind of went into it being like, well, you know, Bill does like trick or treat, so this is probably going to be a piece of shit. But nah, man, I fucking enjoyed it, and like I said, even watching with my kid was kind of a cool experience because he was like, his little fucking kid mind was blown during the majority of this thing. He was just like, what the fuck is going on? Well, he didn't say that, but you know, he like I said, he was like this. I think he even called it creepy at one point. He's like, this movie just feels creepy. Like, this is fucking weird. So, you know, it was awesome, man. I'll give it a 4.5.
Nice. Well, yeah, part of that is you don't know who's gonna snap and do something, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I actually wrote down a 4.5 too, and I'm wondering if I rewatch it, does it go down? Because in retrospective, I mean, I feel like I want to show this to my kids and be like, don't be like these people, you know, like watch White Bear and watch this, and you will never touch a cell phone and be an asshole to anybody again. At least I could hope so. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic movie. It's a movie that, you know, I think it could make people walk away and at least at some point in their lives, in certain situations, make the better choice. So to speak, White Bear. And on that note, there's episode 44 of Slice and Dice Redcast, folks.
Yeah.
All right. So next time on Slice and Dice Redcast, we will be covering the episode that Bill has been waiting to get to. USS Callister.
Is it Callister or McCallister?
Callister.
Yeah, I think just Callister.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Callister, man. So I'm looking forward to that. I've seen that episode before, and it's a doozer. So we'll check that out, and then we'll be checking out the 2018 nostalgic hit Ready Player One.
Yes.
So we'll have a special guest joining us, a friend of mine from a podcast called The Flash Gordon Minute, Eric. So he'll be joining us for that next episode. He digs our show, and that's that, folks. It's time to go to bed. It's 1:33 a.m. and this is Slice and Dice Threadcast. Joey signing out with J Mac.
Peace.
And Bill.
Have a good night.
Arrivederci, folks.